Hey guys, this is Elias with Softlight, and in this video I'm gonna show you how to import metabox custom fields using WP All Import. Now guys, in today's video we're gonna use a Google Sheets file and we're gonna get data imported directly from there. Now to get started we need to go here to Google Sheets and click on the share button, and then we're gonna change this general access from restricted to anyone with a link. Alright, so now we need to copy that link and go back to WP import. Now here we're gonna select download a file from URL, paste our URL here, and click on the download button. Now WP import will fetch our data, and there you go guys. Now we need to select the post type we wanna import, which in this case is restaurants. So we're gonna look for that here, and here it is. Now we're going to create new restaurants for each record in this data file. Now you can see here that we don't have any restaurants created in this site, right? So we're going to use this new items import. But if I wanted to update some restaurants that are already here in our site, I will need to use this existing items import. Now guys, you can also create new restaurants with this existing items import, but you can target to update existing restaurants with this new items import. You can only update restaurants that this same import created using the new items import. So just keep that in mind. For now, let's just continue to step 2. And this is a review step where we need to double check that WP import is detecting the data correctly. Now we do have 1200 rows in this file, right? And this is the data we're going to import. We have the name, cuisine, rating, whatnot. And here we have the opening and closing hours. We have a couple of recommended dishes and some reviews. Now guys, here this is pretty much everything you need to do. But optionally, you can open this manage filtering options. And this is useful for when you need to filter out some content, right? Because maybe you don't want to import all 1200 restaurants, right? Maybe you only want to import the restaurants that are in the city of New York, right? So what you do here is just find that element, right? In this case, city, and select a rule, and you can select equals for this example, and type in here New York, right? So you add this rule and apply the filters, and WP import will instantly reduce this amount of restaurants to those which are located in the city of New York. So let's do that. Right, so you can see we no longer have 1200 restaurants. Now we have 45. So that's cool. Now you can add as many rules as you want. But for this example, I'm just going to roll with the 1200 restaurants as they are. Right, now let's continue to step 3. And here in step 3, guys, we just need to drag and drop whatever element we want to use into whatever field we want those elements to go. For example, this is the title and this is the description. So if I wanted to go ahead and add this average price in the title, I could do it and no one will stop me, right? So in this example though, what I want to be the title of my restaurant is the name of the restaurant. So I'm gonna drag and drop that here. And for the description, I have this description element. So let's do that. Preview. And there you go, guys. We have the Delight Diner and the description for that restaurant. Now let's continue. We have here this images section. So we have the feature image right here. I'll drag and drop that. And it's always a good practice to just hit preview, right? And you can see we have here a little preview of the image to be downloaded. And here is the URL. You can click on it and it will open set URL, which is always a good sign. But just to double check and make sure WP import is able to access that image and download it, let's run a test. Alright, so that test was successful. So we can sleep easy now, knowing that WP import will be able to download our images. Now I'm going to dismiss this. And guys, we have here other gallery element, but we're not going to use that in this images section. Instead, we're going to use our metabox import add-on. Now, guys, these settings, I'm going to leave them as they are, especially this one that says set the first image to the feature image, right? but you can hover on the question marks and it will give you more details about what this option does. Right, now let's continue. Open up the metabox add-on section, and I'm going to enable this field group, which is the only one I have created here for this post type. And WPL import will fetch all of the fields we have created with metabox for this post type. Now guys, before we continue, I want to show you what we're dealing with here. So I'm going to add a new restaurant, and this is the title and the description. You can see we have a couple of taxonomies here, the feature image, and here we have the different fields we created using metabox. Now, all of these fields in the location tab are simple text fields, and they are pretty much straightforward. There is nothing too special about them. But here in the details tab, we have something more interesting. We have these opening and closing time elements, and these are time pickers. And then we have this open since field, which is a date picker. Now then we have this rating, and this rating, guys, is using a value and label setup. So let me zoom in here real quick. This 5 stars label is using a 5 as a value, right? This one is using 4, 3, 2, and 1, right? We have the same scenario here in the menu tab with the price range, right? So the values for this first element is 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, right? So that's how we have these radio elements. And then for the cuisine, we have a checkbox field. Then we have a select field, pretty cool. And then a couple of simple text fields, right? Now here in the media tab, we have an image advanced field, which will work as our gallery. Then in the menu tab, we have another radio field. This is a simple text, and this is a clonable group. Now guys, you can add as many groups as you want, and Metabox will keep cloning these 3 subfields. Now these fields are a simple text field, a text area field, and a number field. And as you can see, we can add as many groups as we want, and we're going to get that imported directly into them, and we're going to create as many subgroups as we need. Now we have here another clonable group, and this one has a simple text field, a text area field, and another radio field, right? And you can add as many as you want to. Cool. And now guys, we have seen what we're dealing with here in Metabox. So let's go back to WPL import, and here we just need to drag and drop some stuff like this map address, right? This is a simple text field, so there is nothing too complex about them. So let's just be done with those really quick. Here's the state, city, and finally here the neighborhood. Cool, that's done. And then here for this opening and closing time fields, if you click on them, you can select a value from here, right? Using this UI. Same with this date picker, right? But this is gonna be the same value for all 1200 restaurants. And maybe we don't want that, right? Because perhaps you have some elements here in your import file that you want to use. So I'm gonna delete this, and I'm gonna drag and drop my opening element here, my opening hours element, and my closing hours element too. And finally my date, which is this open since element, right? And here guys, for these 3 fields, WPL import will use the str2time function to translate whatever time or date format you have here in your file to whatever Metabox is using to handle your custom fields, right? So that's pretty cool. Now guys, here for the rating, we could select a value from here, right? But again, that will mean that all 1200 restaurants will have the same rating, and we don't want that, right? So to be able to use dynamic values, so each restaurant has their own rating right here, we will set this with XPath. Now guys, if you know what XPath is, then awesome, you know, you can do all sorts of crazy stuff here. But if you don't, just don't worry about it. It just means that you can drag and drop something from here, place it here, and WPL import will import this dynamically. Now here guys, we have a slight issue with this data, and this is very common because sometimes you have your data coming from a provider, and that provider maybe can't change the data just for you, right? And maybe the format of said data, it's not what you need for your import. which is this case, right? We have here this rating element, right? And this is like this, 5 out of 5. And if I go here, this one is 2 out of 5, and so on and so forth. But the values we need are integers, right? Let me show you guys real quick here in Metabox how this is looking. Let's go here to custom fields, restaurants info, and here we have our rating. Now this rating, right, needs 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 values as specified by Metabox here. Now, since we don't have that same format, this won't work for us. But like I said before, using XPath allows you to do some crazy stuff here. And one of those is, well, we can use some PHP functions. So we can scroll down here to this function editor and write our own PHP functions. So to change this and convert this to an integer, we have several paths we can follow, but let's just use a very simple one. And the reason I'm choosing this one is to show you something in a minute. So just bear with me for a second. Let's just write our function, and this is going to be called fix rating. That's good. Right, so I'm going to return str replace, and I'm going to look for this text, and I'm going to replace it with nothing in the rating element, right? So I'm going to close this up. I'm going to save my function, and I'm going to copy this function's name and go here to our rating. Now, then I'm going to open a bracket, paste the name of my function here, and surround the rating element with parentheses and close my bracket. Now, if you want to test a function, guys, you can copy the whole thing, go here to the main content area, and paste the value there. Now I'm going to hit preview, and you can see this record has 2 out of 5, and we have removed the out of 5. You can see here it's working for all fields. So that's pretty cool. And this is a pretty cool way you have to test your functions. Now, the reason why I decided to go with the str replace way is because I wanted to show you guys that WPL import has some built-in hidden functionalities, like that same str replace. So we can type in here str replace, right? And pretty much do the same. So I'm gonna type in here out of 5, and then I'm gonna replace that with nothing. And I'm going to drag and drop my rating element right here, close my parentheses and my bracket, preview, and there you go, guys. We have the same result. So that's pretty cool. We can use either way and it will work. But into this video, I'm just going to go with the custom function path, right? So, yep, we have that here. So that's going to work. Now let's just continue with the import. And here for the cuisine, again, guys, we could select a value from here. But again, it will write the same values for all 1200 restaurants. So let's set this with XPath and just drag and drop the value we want here. And that's it. Now here for the dress code, let's do the same. Here we have the chef's name, school, phone number, website. Cool. And here for this gallery, guys, we're going to use the image advanced field in Metabox. So let me show you guys. Here it is, image advanced. That's it, just as it is out of the box. You can use that for galleries, but you can also use maybe a single image and you use it with the cloneable feature. And it's going to be a little bit different, right? It's going to have this recommended dishes format, but we're going to get there in a minute. Now, for now, let's just drag and drop the gallery here. And as you can see, this gallery is separating the elements with commas. So we need to specify the same separator here, right? So with this WPL import, we'll be able to download all of these images correctly. Now I'm going to enable this option that says search through the media library for existing images before importing new images. And what this will do is just prevent WPL import from creating duplicate images in case it finds an image that already exists before downloading it. Now, if that's the case, it will use the image that already exists in your site. So you won't end up with a bunch of duplicates, right? So I'm going to match this by URL, but you can use file name. That's up to you. And here for the price range, right? We can select a value from here, but you know the drill. Let's just set this with XPath, and we're going to use this expense element, right? And here for the average price, we could, of course, drag and drop this and it will work, but we can do other fun stuff. For example, these two fields are related because if the expense rate is 2, it will be 20 and over. For this one is 4, so this will be 40 and over. This one is 2 again, and this one is 5, so it's 50 and over, and so on and so forth, right? So we could, for example, use some static data. So I'm going to say $, and then I'm going to say expense. I'm going to add a 0, and I'm going to type in here and over, right? Let me zoom in so you can see. All right, this is so you know, guys, you can combine some of the elements that you're going to import with static data, and it will work too. Let me copy this, go back here to the main content area, preview, and there you go, 50 and over. So it's pretty cool. You can see the other records and it's working too, so that's cool. Now let me get this back as it was, and there you go. And that's it. Let's continue. Here for the recommended dishes, we only have 2 recommended dishes per property, and they are separated in this structure: menu name 1, menu description 1, and menu price 1, and then menu name 2, menu description 2, and menu price 2, right? So remember, guys, this is a clonable group. Let me show you real quick. Here we have the menu, and here is name, description, and price. And this is a clonable group, like I said before. So since we only have 2 different recommended dishes per property, and that's a fixed number of recommended dishes, and they are separated in this structure, I'm going to use the fixed mode to import those. Now I'm going to add 2 rows here, right? And I'm going to drag and drop the elements into the fields they're supposed to go, right? So this is going to be the menu name 2, menu description 2, and menu price 2. Boom, guys, that's it. With this, WPL import will create 2 subgroups, and they will be populated with the right data. Now, for these reviews, we have a slight different approach. Let me zoom in real quick. Here we have the review name, review comment, and review rating. And you can see that the different values are separated with pipes. So, for example, this guy, Aaron Turner, right? He wrote this comment, and he left this rating. But this one, Alison Meyer, she wrote this comment, and she left this rating. So if you count this, you can see we have 5 different reviews, but the next record has like 6 reviews, and the next one has 6 too. The next one has like 7, 8 reviews. So this is a variable number of repeating elements per property. Now for this, we need to use this variable CSV. Now this variable CSV, it's going to work for Excel, for CSV, for Google Sheets, for OneDrive, and pretty much anything that has a spreadsheet-like format, right? So I'm going to select that. I'm going to make sure that this separator character is the same one we're using, which in this case it's a pipe. And I'm going to drag and drop the elements into the fields they're supposed to go, right? And that's it, guys. With this, WPL import will create as many subgroups as needed. So I believe we're ready here with the metabox section. So let's just continue. Here we have our taxonomies. So I'm going to enable the cuisine, which is here. Then the booking speed, which is around here. And finally, the availability field, which is here. Cool. Now, I believe we're ready here, guys. So, and although it was very simple, guys, if you have any questions along the way in any of these steps, you can go to our website at wplimport.com, click on the docs menu, and you will find there our docs. Alternatively, you can also go to our YouTube channel and you will find a lot more videos. And if even after that you still have some questions, you can contact our support team and we will be more than happy to help you out. For now, let's just continue to step 4. And here on step 4, we need a unique identifier, and this is basically a way WPL import has of telling one record apart from the other. Now you can read this text if you want to know more, but if you don't want to overthink this too much, you can just click on the auto attack button and WPL import will choose the right one for you. Now these settings are mostly for when you need to rerun this import, and this is something that's very useful, especially when you're importing directly from Google Sheets, because maybe here you can modify some of this data. For example, say this restaurant changed the rating and now they are better, right? Now they have a 4 out of 5 rating, so they improved and you need to run this import again. Well, maybe you want to update all of this data, but also maybe you only want to update the rating field, right? So you look here for the rating field and update only that, but not anything else, right? So you do it like this. So guys, you can read this, you can hover on the question mark and you will know a lot more about what this does. We have here another option to remove or modify the restaurants that are no longer present in this import file. And this is very cool if, for example, some of these restaurants are deleted from this import file. Well, WPL import will know that, and you can choose what happens with those restaurants that were deleted from your import file, right? You can maybe remove all of those restaurants, or maybe you can change the status to draft, or maybe set up a custom field that says, I don't know, availability. All right, and you can set this up to closed or whatever. All right, now you can do all sorts of crazy stuff here, guys, but this is potentially dangerous. So be sure to check this video if you want to use this option. For now, we don't need this, so let's just continue. And here we have the scheduling options, guys, which will allow you to run this import automatically on a schedule. Now you can combine that scheduling options with all of this to keep the data in your site updated, right? Now guys, I believe we're pretty much ready here. So let's just continue and run this import. And this is going to take a minute or two while WPL import unloads all of the images. So I'm going to pause this video here and come back when it's ready. Alright guys, so WPL import is finished importing our data. Let's see how that looks. And we have 1200 restaurants, which is great because this is the number of restaurants we expected. Now guys, let's see how this looks here in the front end, where we have this beautiful website, and there you go, we have here our restaurants, and we have some images, the title, the rating, how expensive it is and whatnot. So let's open this one up, see what's going on here, and there you go. We have our feature image, and then we have here the star rating, the title, the average price field we build with static data, then the cuisine, the open scenes field, the description, the 2 taxonomies, then we have here the address, neighborhood, open and close ad, price, cuisine, dress code, and whatnot. And we have the gallery, which is always a good sign because that means our images were downloaded correctly. And then we have the recommended dishes, and you can see we have 2 dishes, which is great because this is the fixed clonable group we used. Here we have our address and the different reviews, which you can see we have 4. So let's see how this looks here in the restaurant page. And here we have the title, description, the different taxonomies with the feature image. Here we have the location fields, which as you can see, they are all populated. Here in details, we have the opening and closing time, open scenes, the rating, the cuisine, the dress code, and all of the other fields, including this image advanced field are good. This is the price range. And here we have the 2 recommended dishes, clonable groups. And for the reviews, we have a lot more, right? So there you have it, guys. That's it. That's how you import metabox custom fields directly from Google Sheets using WPL import. Now guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to know more about how to import or export other metabox data, or if maybe you're using ACF or Jet Engine to handle your custom fields, you can go to our website at wplimport.com or check out the other videos in our channel to know more about that. For now, just thank you for watching and see you next time.